Walk into a grocery store and you see what looks like freedom. 50 types of toothpaste, 30 brands of cereal, 100 different snacks. You think you're making a choice. You compare the prices, you look at the logos, and you pick the one that speaks to you. But here's the dirty secret that the colorful packaging is designed to hide. You aren't choosing between competitors. You're choosing between flavors owned by the same three massive conglomerates. This isn't just in the grocery store. It's your bank. It's your airline. It's the internet provider you hate but can't fire. We're told we live in a capitalist system, and the core engine of capitalism is supposed to be competition. But look around. Where is it? Why are prices up but quality is down? Why does customer service feel like a prank? Why does it feel like everything is getting slightly worse? Because the game has changed. We have moved from capitalism to corporate feudalism. Today, we're going to look at how we killed competition, allowed a handful of lords to seize the economy, and why the free market is actually a rigged casino. Let's decode the monopoly. To understand where we are, we have to look at the last time things were this bad. The late 1800s, the Gilded Age. Men like Rockefeller, Carnegie, and J.P. Morgan owned everything. Rockefeller's Standard Oil controlled 90% of the oil in America. He didn't compete, he crushed. If you tried to start an oil company, he would drop his prices below cost, bankrupt you, buy your factory for pennies, and then jack the prices back up. It got so bad that the US government finally said, enough. In 1911, they used the Sherman Antitrust Act to break Standard Oil into 34 smaller companies. They realized a simple truth. Democracy cannot survive if one company is more powerful than the government. For the next 60 years, antitrust was a real threat. If you got too big, the government broke you up. This fear kept companies honest. It kept them innovating. But then we forgot. Or rather, the rules were rewritten while we weren't looking. Welcome to the modern era, where the monopolies are bigger than Rockefeller ever dreamed, but they are invisible. The shift happened in the 1980s. A legal scholar named Robert Bork came up with a new theory called the Consumer Welfare Standard. Before this, the law said if a company is too big, it's bad because it kills competition. Bork argued, who cares if they are big? As long as the price for the consumer is low, it's fine. This sounds great, right? Walmart comes to town, they destroy the local butcher, the baker, and the hardware store, but hey, you can buy socks for $2. Under the new rules, this wasn't a monopoly, it was efficiency. Regulators put down their weapons, mergers were approved, competitors were bought out. Facebook bought Instagram, Google bought YouTube, Disney bought, well, everything. We allowed industries to consolidate into oligopolies. That's when a market is controlled by 3 or 4 players. Look at the US airline industry. 4 companies control 80% of the flights. Look at beef processing. 4 companies control 85% of the meat. Look at your cell phone plan. 3 companies. When there are only 3 players, they don't need to compete. They just nod at each other, raise prices in sync, and cut services. It's a cartel in everything but name. This leads to a phenomenon that writer Cory Doctorow calls Enshittification. It's a funny word, but a serious economic concept. Here's the cycle. 1. The hook. A platform like Uber or Amazon uses investor money to subsidize prices. It's cheap. It's amazing. You love it. 2. The lock-in. They kill the taxis. They kill the bookstores. Now you have to use them. 3. The extraction. Once you are locked in, they turn the screws. Think about Netflix. It used to be cheap, no ads, and had every movie. Now, it's expensive. They cracked down on password sharing. They introduced ads, and the library is fractured. Why can they do that? Because where else are you going to go? Back to Blockbuster? It's gone. When competition dies, the company stops caring about you, the customer, and starts caring only about extraction. They shrink the candy bar. They remove the headphone jack. They replace the customer service agent with a chatbot that doesn't understand English. They aren't innovating to make your life better. They are innovating to see how much abuse you will take before you cancel. But the rabbit hole goes deeper. You might think, well, at least Pepsi and Coke are fighting each other, right? Are they? Let's look at the shareholders. Who is the top shareholder of Coca-Cola? Vanguard and BlackRock. Who is the top shareholder of Pepsi? Vanguard and BlackRock. This is called common ownership. The same massive asset management firms own the controlling stakes in almost every competitor in every industry. Imagine you owned two pizza shops across the street from each other. Would you want them to have a price war? Would you want them to cut prices to steal customers? No, that lowers your total profit. You would want them to both raise prices and chill out. We live in an economy where the competitors are owned by the same people. It's the illusion of conflict. It's pro wrestling. They fight on stage, but they high-five in the locker room. And finally, we have the scariest evolution, tech feudalism. In the old days, you bought a toaster. It was yours. If it broke, you fixed it. Today, you buy a John Deere tractor or a Tesla or an iPhone. Do you own it? Not really. You're licensing the software that makes it run. Companies are using intellectual property laws to stop you from repairing your own stuff. They want to force you to come back to them, pay their prices, and stay in their ecosystem. They're turning us from owners into renters. You rent your music, Spotify. You rent your movies, Netflix. You rent your storage, iCloud. And if you stop paying the rent, you lose everything. This is neo-feudalism. The tech giants are the lords. They own the land, the servers, the platforms. We are the serfs tilling the soil, creating content, giving data, in exchange for being allowed to stay. The defenders of the system say, but big companies are efficient. They have money to do R&D. History proves the opposite. Monopolies kill innovation. Why would Google invent a new way to search if they already have 90% of the market? They wouldn't. They would just buy any startup that threatens them and shut it down. It's called kill zone investing. We are seeing a stagnation in real physical innovation because the big players are too busy buying back their own stock to invest in the future. We aren't getting flying cars. We're getting 140 characters and better ad tracking algorithms. So, is this the end of the story? Not necessarily. History moves in pendulums. In the 1900s, the pendulum swung too far toward monopolies, and we got the trust busters. We got the breakup of Standard Oil. We got the breakup of AT&T in the 1980s. We're starting to see the gears turn again. The FTC's waking up. People are getting angry. But until the laws change, you have to vote with your wallet, which is hard when there is only one wallet to vote for. The best defense is awareness. Understand that brand loyalty is a scam. Understand that if a service is free, you are the product. And understand that the economy isn't struggling because nobody wants to work anymore. It's struggling because the game has been rigged by the people who own the board. Don't let the illusion of choice fool you. Stay skeptical, stay awake, and as always, stay chill.